That that was not good on the blood pressure one bit. Yes, people, welcome back to another Arsenal match reaction. Arsenal have won in the Champions League and a brilliant result away to Sevilla, winning 2-1, courtesy of goals from Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus. We need that win big time, guys. Absolutely big time, because after the loss against Lens, and let's be honest, a game that we really capitulated in the second half, we needed a bounce back victory. And you don't want to go away from home again. We played 3 Champions League matches, 2 away from home, 1 at home. And this one's a tough one, man. It's arguably the toughest game of the whole group, going away to Sevilla. But I thought we did really well, guys. Genuinely really well. We spent the first half, a lot of it, to be honest, controlling the game rather than actually going forward. I think we had our moments, but for the most part, we wanted to focus on not conceding. But a moment of absolute brilliance from Gabriel Jesus to get us a goal, man. I mean, first, big Gabriel Magalhaes clears it. Gabriel Jesus touch. And I'm going to teach my son this exact move Gabriel Jesus just did here, right? Just out of nowhere, just Cruyff turns it. Takes 2 plays out of the game. It's absolutely superb. He did a similar thing in the second half as well. But yeah, Gabriel Jesus, that turn, unbelievable, man. And that's the fine moments that decide Champions League matches, because the Champions League is decided on those little key moments. If Gabriel Jesus does not do that turn, A, one of the defenders probably tackles him, and B, he won't even spot the run of Gabriel Martinelli, because lo and behold, Gabriel Martinelli goes through. And he had a chance about 20 minutes earlier when Martinelli took a bit too much time to shoot the ball. On this occasion, did fantastic. He kept his head, kept cool. No, it was the last chance of the half, and ran the goalkeeper and slotted it into the open net. Fantastic way to end the half. As they always say, right, one of the best times to score in football is just before the halftime whistle. It changes the whole dynamic of the team talk, and I thought we did brilliant in that fact. I thought that first half was a really good away performance as a whole. You go into a hostile atmosphere. I mean, it was so hostile, I didn't even hear the Champions League music. I did not even hear the Champions League music. It was that hostile. The atmosphere was electric in Sevilla, so I got to give him a heap of credit for that. But we did a fantastic thing. Away game, whatever you do away from home, first thing, dictate possession, control the game, take the atmosphere out of it. I thought we did that superbly. I don't think we had an abundance of chances in the first half. I don't think we peppered their goal by any stretch of imagination. But what we did do in that first half especially was really numb down the crowd. We made it into a real tactical battle rather than a real end-to-end feisty affair. And I think that was good for Arsenal. Really good. And we got a goal from a brilliant moment, as I said, from Gabriel Jesus. Then come out into the second half. That first goal completely rocked Sevilla. And on the flip side, it sent us into a new dimension. That second half, first 15 minutes, was our best 15-minute spell all season long. That first 15 minutes of that second half was superb, man, up until Sevilla scored their goal. Unbelievable. We were popping the ball from left to right. The Sevilla team didn't know what they were doing. It's like they were chasing shadows around the whole pitch. It's like we were playing in front of our home crowd. Suddenly you've got Declan Rice wanting the ball. You've got Martinelli wanting the football. Saka wants the ball again. Odegaard's getting involved, so I thought it was quiet overall today. Really good first 50 minutes of the second half, and it got accumulated in a goal that was absolutely world-class by Gabriel Jesus, man. I mean, I've titled this video, Gabriel Jesus goal and assist. And to be fair, that goal from him, chef's kiss, superb goal. I've not seen him score a goal like that in the Premier League for Arsenal so far. But for some reason, in the Champions League, this is Gabriel Jesus' competition. He takes it to a new dimension here, man. To a new dimension when he plays in the Champions League. I just need him to replicate those performances in the Premier League, because today he was unbelievable. And that goal, he gets the ball on the left-hand side, right? I'm thinking, okay, you're our striker, but you've drifted over to the left. Try and put a good ball in or put it to the edge of the box. Stands up the defender, little shimmy turn inside and bends it. Top bins, fantastic finish. Brilliant goal. And at 2-0, we're comfortable, man. I'm thinking, yeah, really good. But then we concede, and we concede from a set piece. And you know what it's like, man. No one wants to concede from a set piece. It's so avoidable. And we just let him have a free header. I think Gabriel Jesus did not do enough to contest it. The ball went over Ben White's head as well. I think he should have done better. But lo and behold, we conceded. And guys, this is going to sound a little bit counterintuitive right here, but stick with me when I make this point. I actually prefer that we win this game 2-1 than actually win it 3 or 4-0. Because had we won this game 3 or 4-0, which probably would have happened if we not conceded from the set piece, because before the set piece, we were all over Sevilla, man. Like, we were completely running them ragged. They were chasing shadows. But the fact we've won this game 2-1, having been 2-0 up, conceded, and had to defend for 35, 40 minutes, is a brilliant sign of our defensive resolve. And you're going to need that going forward, because the Champions League is rarely plain sailing. You're going to throw up spanners in the works. You're going to have teams that have different sorts of atmospheres and different sorts of playing styles. So the fact we were able to concede, weather the storm, and come out with a 2-1 victory, for me, pleases it more. Sorry, for that fact, it actually pleases me more than had we have won this game 3 or 4-0. Because for me, we've shown a side to our game where we're able to defend leads. We've shown it in the Premier League. We've done it to Crystal Palace, to Everton, etc. Games like that. But now in the Champions League, we've shown the ability to, away from home, defend our leads. Because against Lens a few weeks back, right, we went 1-0 up, complete control, cruise control. We can see the sloppy goal of David Raya, and we never recovered. The game went away from us, and Lens went on to win the game. But on this occasion, we go 2-0 up, look comfortable, thriving, we concede, and we hold on really well. We defend resolutely. They had a few chances, I can't lie. David Raya had a few shaky moments. One time he was punched the ball in the back of his own net, but we survived, and that's all that matters. Guys, 6 points out of 9 is not a bad return whatsoever. Having played 2 away games and 1 home game, I'm happy. Happy days, man. We've now got 2 home games in a row, I believe, to Sevilla and to Lens. And if we win those next 2 games, we will finish top of our group and basically progress. Then we can go to that PSV game with basically the shackles off, not really caring anymore what happens. So, guys, I'm delighted, man. Really good victory. Really good overall. I thought a really good team performance as well. And this is the thing about Champions League games, right? Champions League games are a brilliant circuit breaker. For me, we had a okay result after a really disappointing performance against Chelsea on the weekend. So this game in midweek against Sevilla is a perfect opportunity to right those wrongs from the weekend. And we did that. We got a win. We got a good performance to accompany it as well. Good size to our performance. Wasn't just a good attacking performance. It was a very good defensive performance as well. I think we showed both shades of a good football team there. And now we can carry that forward to the game on Saturday against Sheffield United. So yeah, happy days overall for me, man. Really delighted. Really delighted. But this is only one of many games this season. Many games. I don't want to be a party pooper. Not at all. But we're going to have tougher games than Sevilla to come, guys. Tougher games than Sevilla. Because there's a lot of tough teams in this competition, guys. But you can only beat what's in front of you, right? It's one game at a time. And I'm delighted with how it's gone so far. Let's get into some of your comments. And if you are new, make sure you subscribe. My road to 5,000 subscribers as I react to every single Arsenal game. See you, and I appreciate joining the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing well, thank you. Anish as well, appreciate joining the stream. What a win. The first half was like a well-pressed suit, and the second half was a bloody street fight. Super impressed by Jesus and Martinelli, but the question is, Raya out when? So make a few points here. First of all, the first half and second half, the contrast between the two, I do agree with you. I think the first half was more of like it was like, if it was a boxing fight, the first half was like the fighters feeling themselves out. No one was really laying a haymaker, but we were just kind of like feeling each other. There wasn't any clear-cut chances, but there was a lot of just throwing jabs at each other. And then at the end of the first half, Martinelli laid down a haymaker, an uppercut. It was a knockdown. It wasn't a knockout, but it was a knockdown. And I thought that's what we needed, man. And that second half, I thought we came out like a house on fire, man. Really good in that second half. Really took them to the cleaners. And to be fair, if we didn't concede from the corner, I think we would have gone on to win this game 3 or 4-0, to be honest with you guys. Yeah, Jesus and Martinelli, superb. Really good. I thought Jesus in particular led the line brilliantly today, man. When Nketiah came on the pitch, we lost that real threat from that Jesus provided us, because Jesus was really good at holding the ball up, doing his turns, getting other players involved. And actually, he scared the Sevilla defense a lot. I mean, Ramos didn't really know what to do with him. And that's Sergio Ramos, one of the best defenders of all time. So I thought Jesus was superb today, man. Really good. I've got to give him a heap of credit for his performance. And Martinelli, of course, as well. We've spoken at length about Martinelli on this channel. I thought he had a really good chance in the first half. He should have done better with. Again, offered Jesus, nice turn and pass. But on this occasion, for the goal, really good, man. Opened his body up, went round the goalkeeper, and slotted it into the back of net. For his Champions League debut, took it very coolly and calmly. So yeah, I will give Martinelli a heap of credit for that one. Jeff, appreciate you, my friend. Hope you're doing really well. And I'm pretty sure you put 2-1 for your score prediction, right? If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong in saying that, but if I'm not mistaken, you put 2-1 for your score prediction for this game. And if that is the case, oh no, you put 1-0. Oh, you put 1-0. My bad. I thought you put 2-1. But yeah, so far no one's got their score prediction right. But I watched until Arsenal got a second goal. Then I showed the Man United. They escaped barely with a 1-0 win. Yeah, Maguire scored for Man United. But yeah, I think for them, I think they had to win this game, Man United. Whether it was like, let's be honest, whether it was a 3-0, 4-0, or 1-0, United had to win this game. But they did, so fair play to them. You think that was bad for blood pressure? Anonymous said the 97th minute penalty to give Man United a 1-0 win. Oh, bloody hell, I didn't even know that, man. But big up Onana for saving the penalty, man. I've always been an Onana fan, me. I don't even understand what Raya brings to the table. His distribution is low-key trash now. He can't find players when he plays long, and he's under so much pressure when there is a press. Well, here's the thing about David Raya, right? Do I think David Raya is a good goalkeeper? Yes. Do I think Aaron Ramsdale is a good goalkeeper? Yes. Do I think Raya is better than Ramsdale? It's arguable. If he is, it's not by a lot. I'm talking percentages here. Minimal percentages, negligible difference. So Arteta's treating Raya like he's brought in an Alisson or Edison. It's not to that extent. I would understand if we've got an Alisson or Edison-esque goalkeeper in the door. But Raya is not at those two goalkeepers' levels, man. I mean, he's a decent keeper, but he's nowhere near their levels. Let's be honest about it. So I do agree with you. Look, I think Raya's kicking is overrated. I think again today a couple of times, especially in that first half, his passing was very wayward going into Sevilla's half. And obviously at the end of the game, he almost punched the ball in his own net. But look, this is the thing about David Raya, man. He's come from Brentford to Arsenal. He's not used to the pressure that's on his shoulders. It's tough, guys, man. It's super tough. I mean, you think it was hard for players like Ramsdale to come into the door, etc. But a goalkeeper as well in David Raya. I thought it was tough for Ramsdale, but for Raya, it's even tougher. Because when Raya came in the door, Arsenal expected to win a Premier League this season, or at least challenge. When Ramsdale came in after Leno left, so after Leno had been in the team, we lost our opening 3 games. No one expected anything from Arsenal. Arteta had his head on the chopping block. Ramsdale came in and really, he had no real pressure. I know he's a goalkeeper, but let's be real about it. Arsenal was sinking like the Titanic. But with Raya coming in the door, Raya came in knowing Ramsdale's a fan favourite, knowing Arsenal are expected to win a Premier League this season, or at least come mightily close. He's got a heap of pressure on his shoulders. He did not have this pressure at Brentford, not in any sort of magnitude that he's got at Arsenal. So I think Raya's got to take some time to adapt. Now, I'm behind Raya, just like I'm behind Ramsdale. But one thing I don't get about this is because when Arteta brought in Raya in the first place, he came out and he said that he wants his goalkeepers to rotate. He doesn't want any position to be safe. So look what happens now. Raya's made a mistake on the weekend against Chelsea. Made 2 mistakes in my eyes. Only one got punished. He made a couple of mistakes again today. But if he doesn't get rotated, then you've just come out and lied to everyone, Arteta. Arteta should have just been honest. He should have just said, I bought in Raya. I want Raya to be my number 1 goalkeeper. Be honest. Because now all you've done by saying I want to rotate them, it's going to be based on who I see fit for each game. All you've done is just kick the problem down the road. You kick the bucket down the road. Because all that's going to happen now is every single game, you're going to have people say, oh, it's time for Ramsdale to go and goal. Oh, it's time for Raya to get dropped. And vice versa. So I think Arteta's done the wrong thing in my eyes. I think he should have just said, Raya's my number 1 goalkeeper. Because I agree with the thought process that there should always be a number 1 goalkeeper and a number 2 goalkeeper. I've not seen it work with 2 number 1s. I've not seen it work in my lifetime. There's people older than me that probably haven't seen it work either. But look, anything can happen. We can see what's going to happen from it. But I always thought that Raya was not the right signing for Arsenal. I think we didn't need to bring in a goalkeeper, really. I mean, look, if you ask any Arsenal fan, right? Any Arsenal fan on planet Earth, when we signed Raya, did we need him? No. If you ask any Arsenal fan on planet Earth, at the start of the transfer window, do we need a goalkeeper? Many would have said, no, we don't. Suddenly we're bringing Raya and everyone's saying, oh, yeah, Raya, what a good signing that is. I didn't think that was the case, really, when people were talking about him before. So I think, to be honest with you guys, yeah, we've got a lot that needs to be patched up in this Arsenal team. And I think that a goalkeeper was not what we needed to patch up, to be honest. But it's happened now. And look, I have faith in whoever's in goal for us, whether it's Raya or Ramsdale. Mali, appreciate you, my friend. They've been doing really well. Happy days indeed. Tomiyasu, man, the match. Superb, man. Superb. Zinchenko's going to struggle to get back into the team because Tomiyasu was brilliant today. And Tomiyasu was inverting as well. He wasn't just standing at the back. He was inverting. He was going forward. Really good performance overall from Tomiyasu, man. Done really well. I cannot wait for Timber to get back into the team. If Timber and Tomiyasu are back in the team, I could see Zinchenko get sold, to be honest. Because Zinchenko, the only thing he's good at is inverting. He can't defend. So you might as well get rid of him, to be honest, man. Amazing defender. Yeah, Tomiyasu was superb, man. He was on fire. I think Gabriel Jesus gets man of the match, but Tomiyasu had a brilliant performance overall. Fantastic. Arsenal will now probably win the Champions League. A bit early for that one, man. A bit early for that one. We're just beating Sevilla away from home. Not exactly like we're beating Real Madrid, to be honest. Rice, great. Yeah, Rice superb as well, man. See when you're funny, long way to go. Let's get out of the group. Yeah, 1 stage at a time, man. Let's get out of the group. But let's be honest with it. It's still, let's be real, Sevilla away from home. You're going to get tougher tests. Sevilla, we understand Sevilla's game plan anyway. We're familiar with their game. Sevilla do the same thing every season. Make the Champions League, finish 3rd in their group, drop down to Europa League, win the Europa League, and qualify for the Champions League. And it's just a circle. It's just a cyclical process with Sevilla. So I think Sevilla are going to finish 3rd in this group. I think right now it looks like Arsenal, and to be honest, Lens could probably go through as well. But who knows, man? PSV could come through as well. You don't know. Anything can happen. So I think, to be fair, that we just got to focus on the games we got to play. We got a fairly, let's be honest, fortunate group. We avoided the Bayern Munichs, the Real Madrids, etc. So we could be fairly happy with our group. I mean, Newcastle got the group of death, for example. But bit by bit, man, take it game by game. And if we keep progressing, I don't see why we can't go through to the next round. And if we get a favourable tie, why not, man? I think we can go far in this Champions League. Look, let's be honest about it, right? If we avoid Real Madrid and Man City and arguably Bayern Munich, we're the best out of the rest. We are. Who's better than us apart from Real Madrid, Bayern Munich and Man City? No one. Let's be real. Like on paper, we are the fourth best team in this Champions League. So if Arteta gets knocked out to Real Madrid or Man City, fine. It is what it is. We'll take on the chin. We lost to a better team. If he gets knocked out to a Galatasaray in the last 16 or a team like that, like we did last year to Sporting Lisbon, hang on a minute, that can't run. That can't run whatsoever. So my lofty predictions for Arsenal this season is at least a semi-final of the Champions League. But the thing with cup competitions, right, it's impossible to predict. It's like England in the World Cup, right? If England didn't play France in the quarterfinals, they probably would have made the semi-finals or final. Now, if you look at that England team on paper making the quarterfinals of the World Cup, you're probably thinking that's an underachievement. England should be making at least the semis, if not the final. But they came up against France in the quarterfinals. If Arsenal finish second in our group, for example, and play Real Madrid in the last 16 and get knocked out, is that a failure because we got knocked out of the Champions League? I mean, it'd be a failure because we finished second in our group, to be honest. But we lost out to Real Madrid. So I'm not necessarily looking at Arsenal need to make semi-finals, or Arsenal need to make quarterfinals, or Arsenal need to make the final or win the Champions League. My aim is not in terms of position in the Champions League. My aim is, who do we lose to? Do we get knocked out to a team that we should be sweeping the floor with? And then I'd be thinking, hang on a minute, something's not right here. Or do we get knocked out to Real Madrid or Man City? And I'm sitting there thinking, fair enough, it's Real Madrid or Man City. They are better than us. That's how I would be judging our Champions League successes. Let's be honest about it. Because, look, we are better than the majority of teams in this Champions League. We have got enough quality to win the Champions League. Teams that are worse than us on paper have won this Champions League before. So we have got the quality to win it. But it's just about whether we get a bit of luck along the way and we put in some really good performances. Malik, whenever I say something about Arsenal, the opposite happens. So, fair point, man. Fair point. How did your brother, the Chelsea fan, react to the game at the weekend? No, I had 1-0, so got it wrong. Yeah, I got it wrong. Sorry. 1-0. I mean, you still got the goal difference, right? I put 1-1 for this game. I can't lie. He was annoyed, lol. Also, do you prefer Jorginho starting or coming off the bench? For me, it's better if he comes off the bench. But what game you had, bro? Big up Jorginho, man. Yeah, Jorginho was good today. But the thing about Jorginho, right, that it's not even a Jorginho problem, it's an Odegaard problem. Now, I don't want to blame Jorginho for this, but in the 3 matches where we played Jorginho, Rice, and Odegaard, in those 3 matches, Odegaard has been non-existent. Against today, Odegaard was quiet, man. He was better than against Chelsea and Man City, make no mistake about it, but he was still very quiet. And once again with Odegaard, right, he seems to not play well when he's got Jorginho and Rice next to him, versus when he had a Havertz or a Vieira next to him, he was good. He was really good when he had another playmaker next to him. So I think the thing about Jorginho is it's not even really his fault, but he just seems to get the worst out of Odegaard. So I think for the benefit of the team, I'd rather see Partey play or play another attacking midfielder. I'd be surprised, very surprised, if against Sheffield United at home, Arteta did play Jorginho and Rice in midfield. I'd be very surprised. I'd be looking to play either Havertz or Vieira or even Smith Rowe as another number 8 next to Odegaard against Sheffield United, because let's be real, it's Sheffield United. You can afford to play a bit more attacking, a bit more gung-ho. But to be fair, who knows what's going to happen, man? Arteta is a man of many tricks up his sleeve. I would be, to be honest, hesitant to guess what he's going to do, because every time I seem to guess what he's going to do, I get it wrong. But for those of you that watch the preview for this game, become a channel member, by the way, to watch every single preview for football matches. I got the team section 100% right today. 100% right. I said Tomiyasu will start left back. So I got the team section completely correct today for this game. Let's see what I go for the game on Saturday. I will be previewing that game before it starts on his channel, probably on Friday evening or Thursday. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned for that. He thinks he'll get Europa League. Chelsea could get Europa League, that's for a fact. Does Raya play for the Spanish national team? Does Raya play for the Spanish national team? No, it's Unai Simon normally. Let's see. He has every right to be angry. Like I said in the last stream, everyone lost. Yeah, Arsenal and Chelsea, it was a good point and a bad point for both teams. It's Unai Simon. Yeah, exactly. Most teams are consistent with one goalie. Yeah, guys, in the live chat, do you prefer having 2 number 1s or a number 1 and a number 2? I've always preferred a number 1 and a number 2. Always. I've never seen it work with 2 number 1s, because the goalkeeping position, you do not rotate. The goalkeeper is your foundation. It's the base of your team. You don't rotate off the base of your team, man. That's like the helm. You rotate the pieces around the goalkeeper. But look, Arteta's a man that's, as I said, has many tricks up his sleeve. No one knows what's in his head sometimes. Who knows what he's going to do? Massive 3 points. VD predict. Appreciate John Schumacher. My friend. They're doing really well. I agree, man. Humongous 3 points for us. Really good result. Really good. And also good performance as well. As I said earlier in the stream, this pleased me more than having won this game 3 or 4-0. Because we showcased today the ability to not just win the game, but win the game in a fashion where we were really resolute and defensively sound. And that's not something I expect from Arsenal a lot, to be honest. Because when I watch Arsenal play, right, guys, yeah, I sometimes see Arsenal that's only goes two ways. We either play really forward-thinking, attacking, fluid football, or we can't seem to click at all. Whereas today, I thought we did really well to show two sides of the coin. We were defensively superb and attacking really strong as well. So yeah, keep a credit for Arsenal today. I thought we were superb overall. We didn't know a striker would have been better. Yeah, I mean, I still want Arsenal to sign a striker. I still think in January we need to sign Ivan Toney, to be honest. But we need Jesus in the meantime to start performing in the Premier League. In the Champions League, he's been superb. 3 goals in 3 games. Couldn't ask for anything better. But in the Champions League, the brother's lacking for some reason. I don't know why. Arsenal said he's not under any pressure when he's being pressed. I mean, he has to say that to not show any weakness, but it's quite evident that he's super nervous. Yeah, Arteta, once again, he's trying to, obviously, I agree with you, he's trying to alleviate pressure from David Raya's shoulders. But you're 100% right. He's got a heap of pressure when he's getting pressed, man. These foreign teams as well, they have no chill, man. They don't pull no punches. They will pressure you with aggression. So Raya needs to be on it, man. And I feel like at times this season he's been a little bit lackluster, passing out the back. But look, he is a goalkeeper. He's going to make mistakes. And when you're a goalkeeper, make mistakes like any other position on the football pitch, there's a difference. Because you're a goalkeeper, your mistakes more often than not lead to goals because you're the one that's closest to the football goal, right? That's just how it is. So when Raya makes mistakes, it's evident. Whereas when Jesus or Odegaard makes mistakes, it's not the end of the world because they're still 40, 50 meters from their goal. So I do think for Odegaard, right? Sorry, not for Odegaard. I do think for David Raya, right, that he needs to be very careful when he plays football. Do the simple things sometimes. I think having Kai Havertz off the bench is a real positive because it gives you a target man to hit up front. I think David Raya likes that. I don't think David Raya likes the short passes. He likes the long balls. I think even medium passes sometimes he botches them as well. In the first half, a few of them go wayward to Sevilla. Your goalkeeper needs to be really good pass on the back because if that's the case, you can literally build out attacks from the back. And that's exactly what we need. I think that's what Arteta wants. That's what every manager wants. Every manager would love to have a goalkeeper that can build out attacks from his own penalty box. I think Raya's got the capacity to do that, but I think he just makes too many mistakes on too frequently right now for it to be a banker that he can do it often enough. Dennis, why do Arsenal fans get excited for every signing like Raya, Havertz and Jorginho? God knows, man. I think a lot of Arsenal fans are what I call Arteta's yes men. And what I mean by that is, it's fine to back Arteta. I back Arteta as well, right? But whenever Arteta makes a signing, they go, oh, yes, I want the signing because Arteta wants the signing. A lot of fans are like that. I've got a few of them I know personally as well. They go, oh, if Arteta wants the man, I want the man. Fine, I get you. He's the manager. If he wants him, fine. But have a thought process of your own. Like, have a brain of your own to comprehend what's going on. Don't be a sheep. But like I said, before the summer transfer window started, if I was any Arsenal fan, what position do you want to sign and what players do you want to sign? Most Arsenal fans would have said a centre mid to replace Xhaka. Great, we got Declan Rice. A striker, we didn't get one, but it is what it is. A defender, good, we got Urian Timber. And to be fair, they probably would have wanted a couple more positions as well, but we didn't quite address all of them. But no Arsenal fan would have said, oh, I want a goalkeeper. Not a single one. There was not a single Arsenal fan I know of on this stream, in my comments, personally, that said to me before the transfer window started, yeah, I really want a goalkeeper to replace Ramsdale. Really badly. I think we need a goalkeeper. No one said that. Suddenly, Arsenal want to sign Raya, and I hear left, right, centre all over Twitter, oh my God, we need to sign a goalkeeper. Oh, yes, it's the best thing we've done. We've brought in Raya. Ramsdale's mistakes. He's going to go on the bench now. It's brilliant stuff. Where was this energy at the start of the window? Suddenly, because Arteta wants Raya, you want Raya as well. But you didn't have the same thought process at the start of the transfer window. Raya was available for genuinely about what? A month, 2 months. Tottenham wanted him at the start of the window. No one said, oh, we need to sign Raya. Suddenly, Arteta wanted him, and yes, the Raya in brigade came along. Now, I'm not a Raya hater. I'm not a Ramsdale lover either. I think both of them are really good goalkeepers in their own right. But I do think a lot of the Arsenal fan base are too dependent on what Arteta says and does. They're too, it's just Arteta-centric. If Arteta wants him, I want him. Have a full process of your own. Think for yourself in that respect. But yeah, it's just one of those things. The Raya signing, I was perplexed at the time. I'm still perplexed now why we made it. I think, to be fair, the reason we made it, Arteta said, is because Matt Turner wanted to leave and he needed a backup goalkeeper. And I think he just saw Raya and thought, you know what? Why not replace Ramsdale? Could be a thought process, or it could just be a case that he wanted to improve upon Ramsdale. Definitely that could be the case. The Havertz signing, at the time, I didn't get it. Now, still, I don't get it, to be honest with you. I think what Arteta's done with Havertz is I think he's wanting to buy Havertz as a another number 8 next to Odegaard, but I think he's just converted into a striker now because he thinks that's the only position he can play, to be honest with you. The Jorginho one as well, I understood it because we needed a CDM. We missed out on Caicedo, and we just wanted someone that could be like a real veteran leader. But at the same time, he wasn't like a real promising player in that respect that's going to actually like improve our starting 11, like Caicedo probably would have. Don't remind me of Sporting Lisbon. Our season died on that day. Yeah, what a horrible game, man. Horrible, horrible game. By the way, those of you that want to, check me out on Instagram. I've opened up a YFootball account on Instagram where I'm posting clips from my live streams. So yeah, make sure you check it out. It's YFootball23 on Instagram. Yeah, just started posting videos literally like yesterday or the day before. Clips from my live stream. Galatasaray could have beaten Bayern. Yes, I watched that game, Jeff. I'm a Galatasaray fan as well. That's my Turkish team. Galatasaray had so many chances, man. So many chances. Yeah, and then as soon as Bayern went 2-1 up, Galatasaray faded, man. Faded, unfortunately. But yeah, that first half, they were peppering Bayern's goal. I think they had like about 22 shots that whole game. Dennis, this explanation exactly why I find it funny when people predict the UEFA Champions League final at this point. You don't know who will play who in the last 16 or something. Exactly. That's my point. I hear Arsenal fans go, oh, if we don't make the semi-final, the final of the Champions League, Arteta needs to go. Look, for me, it's always who do you play? If we make the final of the Champions League, but we didn't play anyone good, then we lose to Real Madrid in the final of the Champions League. Fine. It is what it is. If we get knocked out the last 16 having played Real Madrid, it is what it is. Liverpool last year got knocked out in the last 16 of the Champions League having played Real Madrid. I wholeheartedly believe if they avoid Real Madrid, they probably get to at least the semi-final of the Champions League. At least, because Liverpool are wicked in the Champions League. They just came up across a team that's even better than them in the Champions League in Real Madrid. Do you get what I mean? So I don't think Liverpool can consider that Champions League venture last season a failure. They just came up against Real Madrid. It just is what it is. It's the luck of the draw. So, like I said, if we avoid Real Madrid, Man City, and to an extent Bayern Munich, we should be walking through this competition. We should be, on paper. But anything can happen, man. Anything can happen. I said it earlier, including Jorginho doesn't seem to work for everyone. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why we signed all these Chelsea players, to be honest with you, in the first place. No, man, I say it died when you drew against Southampton. Yeah, that game pissed me off big time, man. That pissed me off big time. The start of the downfall was the second half against Liverpool. If we win that Liverpool game, I think we win the title, to be honest with you. But there's no point going over past ventures. Let's look into the future. Also, what happened to Saka's decision-making in the final third today, bro? I think he could have done something better in many of the situations. Yeah, I agree with you. So many times we were on the break and Saka got the ball on the right wing and he made the wrong decision. He should have definitely had his head up and made the better pass. But look, I'm not going to grow Saka too much. I think overall he's still been fantastic this season. But yeah, I do agree with this point. I think Saka's decision-making in the final third has been poor recently. Very poor. I think he made a superb pass for the goal that Trossard scored against Chelsea. But for the whole, I think Saka's still got levels to reach this season. But guys, disagree with me if you want. I'm going to make this point right now. We're currently second or third in the Premier League, unbeaten after 9 games, 6 points out of 9 in the Champions League. And in my opinion, we have not even played that well this season. Genuinely, we haven't played as well as last season for a fact. So I'm quietly confident because I know we've still got another gear to get to. Like, look at Man City last season, right? Man City last season, for the majority of the season, they were crap. Let's be real. Like, okay, not crap in terms of crap, but compared to Man City's standards, their lofty standards, they were crap last season for the majority of it. Then about April, May time, they hit gear. They completely clicked into gear and wiped the floor of the rest of the competition. They went unbeaten for like 17, 18 games, barely conceded a goal at home. Arsenal, for the start of the season, we're still coasting. We're still like in gear 2 or 3. There's not been a single game this season. Okay, I'll take it back. The only 2 games this season where I think we've actually played really well has been PSV at home in the Champions League and Bournemouth away. Those 2 games we were superb. And Everton as well. I thought Everton were really good as well, despite it was only 1-0 victory. Every other game this season, we've looked good in parts. Like, we've been okay. Like, today, we were really good attacking for the first about 12 minutes of the second half. We were really good attacking, free flow and stuff. But then we just started to go back into defensive shell. First off, it was a tactical battle. I thought Lens first 30 minutes, we were good. But after that, we capitulated a little bit. So we've yet, to be honest, for me, to show a string of really good performances. If I look at last season, right? In January last season, we were superb, man. Like, we played Man United at home. We're brilliant. Tottenham away, one of my favourite games last season. Absolutely tore them apart away from home. We like basically clicked into gear around January time last season. Then February, look here. We had some good performances in February as well. Even the start of last season, we were brilliant. So I still think we haven't quite hit the heights of last season's Arsenal, which is a good thing because the team, in my opinion, is better this year than it is last year. It's basically Arsenal's team last year. Plus, you've got Raya for Ramsdale and Declan Rice for Xhaka, which on paper is a better football team. Plus, you take into account the fact that Saka's got older, Odegaard's got older, Martinelli, Saliba, all these players have got older and wiser and more experienced. So, on paper, our team is better than last year, but we haven't played to the same heights of last season. So, that's a good and bad thing. It's bad because you're sitting there thinking, has his team lost its touch? But it's a good thing because you're thinking there's still another gear we can get to. Number one and number two, unless you are Real Madrid. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Because Real Madrid, Real Madrid could basically just they're too big of a club. It doesn't matter who your goalkeeper is, man. Let's be real. They've got Kepa, they've got Courtois. They will just understand it's Real Madrid, man. That's the big boy club to play for. I think Arteta makes it up as he goes along. Arteta gives a fair play to Arteta. He gives the real image that it's what's it called? That is like a visionary, a savant of football. So I rate him 100% for that, man. But I do think at times Arteta is. But look, I don't blame him for making up as it goes along. He's still a very young manager, very young. Probably gets win to choose a team. That's a funny one, man. Or his son who appears in Arsenal training sessions. Bro, if I was Arteta's son, man, I'd be talking to that guy about football, about everything, man, about everything. What do you think of the subs tonight? It was important to have subs on points day. Yeah, I thought his subs were really good today, Arteta, man, really good. I'm happy Zinchenko didn't play. I think, thank God Zinchenko didn't play, man. As I said, right, Tomiyasu had a superb performance. If when Timber gets back, I think Zinchenko could get sold. I think this summer Zinchenko's going, guys. Genuinely, I think that's the case. Because Tomiyasu today was better than him defensively, and we know Zinchenko can't defend anyway. 2, Tomiyasu actually inverted today. The one thing Zinchenko can do is invert, and Tomiyasu just did it again today. 3, we've got Timber to come back from injury. So Zinchenko surplus the requirements. Plus, he gets injured anyway. Plus, he's too politically charged, man. Like, well, he's got the Israel backing and everything. Like, we know politics. Arsenal does not like politics in football. I mean, they got rid of Ozil for a very similar situation. So I think Zinchenko's on his last life, to be honest with you guys. And I'm not mad about that. Look, I want defenders that can defend. I love how football has got all these inverted styles. I love how you got defenders that can go into midfield. Like I said, guys, when I used to play football back in the day, I used to play Zinchenko's position before Zinchenko existed. My coach used to put me left back sometimes, and I used to say, I don't like playing left back. I like going into midfield, so I'm an attacking player. So I used to just drift into midfield. I was Zinchenko before Zinchenko existed. Me in year 8, a good about what, like 7-8 years ago, was playing Zinchenko's role before Zinchenko existed, basically, on the football pitch. Suddenly, now, I guarantee being brought up as a left back or right back, you're playing into midfield. You're bombing down the wings. Trent and Zinchenko have revolutionized the right back and left back position. And I rate them for it because growing up, you just stick the crap kid at left back. Let's be real about it, man. I don't want to be harsh, but everyone knows this. Growing up, yeah, the worst player gets put in left back. And the other one gets put in goalie. That's it, bro. Like, left back is just a slow winger. That's all it is. But nowadays, the left back and right back position has been revolutionized, where every position on the football pitch has got its quirks, where you actually don't mind being put left back. Like, nowadays, if you put me left back, I wouldn't mind it. Because I'll just end up slotting in midfield, playing overlap, etc. I find it quite fun. Whereas back in the day when I used to play left back at school, I just find it boring, man. My coach is telling me just stick at left back and just defend. I'm like, brother, let me go forward, man. Let me slot into midfield. Let me influence the game from there. But nah, it is what it is. But yeah, I thought his subs overall was good. To get back to your question, Anish, I thought his subs were really good, Arteta. I thought the Havertz substitution was perfect. It gave us a real outball on there, which we really needed. I thought the other sub as well for Kivior was superb, man. Really good to lock up the defense. I've been Arteta's critic from day one. Oh, yes, trust me, I hear it. I hear all the Arteta critics. Go see us, Ronaldo. Appreciate you on stream, my friend. You're always on time with your videos and talk in depth logically all the time, bro. Hope you grow more and more. Really appreciate my man. And I always appreciate your support on the channel, to be honest, man. So yeah, really appreciate it as always. And if you're on your Roundtable, by the way, make sure you do subscribe to my road to 5,000 subscribers. I react after every single Arsenal game. And check out my Instagram. I just launched a brand new Instagram, YFootball23 on Instagram. I'll put it in the chat actually so everyone can see it. YFootball23. I'm posting clips, viral clips basically from my live stream. I'm clipping up and putting it on there. So yeah, make sure you check it out. I'd really appreciate it. We've got a chat from my Twitch. I'm streaming live on Twitch as well as YouTube right now. The Real Poison Super 8. Appreciate you on stream. I've been doing really well. I love to deluded Arsenal fans out there. It's mad. Am I deluded? Maybe, man. Maybe I'm deluded. I don't think I am, but I might be. I mean, I guess you can't really judge yourself, but I appreciate you on the stream regardless. Dennis, next time someone is Arteta-centric, ask them, if Arteta hires Lee Gunnar to be his assistant, would you want him? I guarantee you they would say no, so you can challenge them. That's a good point, to be fair, but that's a good point. Bro, I'd love to see Arteta and Ligue 1 have a conversation, man. It'd be the funniest thing. The funniest thing. Predict the prime position of Arsenal at the end of the season. Ooh, okay. Now you're gonna call me deluded. Well, you did call me deluded earlier, so it's not gonna look good. At the start of the season, I said Arsenal are gonna win the Premier League. Now that is gonna look deluded. It is, but last season I didn't say Arsenal were gonna win the league. By the way, last season I thought we were gonna finish second. Actually, to be fair, in January on a podcast me and my friends have got called the Press Resistant. I'll leave that in the chat as well. Actually, I've got so many podcasts, so many different outlets. So on the podcast me and my friends have got called the Press Resistant Podcast. I'll show it right here, right? That's what's called, the Press Resistant Podcast. Around January time, during the World Cup, when the Premier League had a break, we predicted the finishing top 4 positions in the Premier League. And I got it spot on. Genuinely, I got it spot on. I said it's going to be Man City, Arsenal, Man United, Newcastle. I said that in January, and it was bang on, 100% correct by the end of the season. So this year, I put Arsenal to win the league. But for multiple reasons. One, we've got stronger. We brought in Declan Rice, as I said. And this wasn't at the time we signed David Raya, but we brought in David Raya as well. But yeah, we brought in Declan Rice, who for me is the game changer for Arsenal. But also not just that, because Arsenal getting better is not going to equal us win the title, because we still need to match Man City at least. And I also said at the same time, I do believe Man City are going to slightly fall off. Very slightly, I think they're going to fall off. Now, I think that's for multiple reasons. One, the squad's aging. It's the same players. You need a refresh. And two, they just won the treble. When Liverpool almost won the quadruple season before last, the season after, they had a massive, massive fall-off, man. Massive fall-off. Winning the treble doesn't just deplete you physically. It depletes you mentally as well. You completed football. You won everything that needs to be won. It's like me telling you to complete a video game. Great. You're having a great time. You're playing the video game. It's brilliant. You complete it. Now I tell you, okay, play that video game again and complete it again. You can complete it again. You've proven you're good enough to complete it. But do you want to complete it again? Have you got that same hunger inside of you to complete it again? I know players also always refresh the season after. Okay, I won the Champions League last year. I want to win it again. I won the Prem last year. I want to win it again. But nothing can beat the first time you win it. Nothing ever beats that, man. And these Arsenal players are hungry because we were so close to win the Premier League last season. This close, genuinely, this close, guys. We bottled it, man. We were top of the table for like 90% of the season. I think the hunger is going to persist this season. And I think we've got that extra edge now to win the title. So, yeah, I did predict Arsenal to win the league. But, yeah, feel free to call me deluded. I don't mind, to be honest. At least you're joining the stream and having a good time. I hope at least. Or if you're not, feel free to leave. They have 6 Champions League to hold. We don't have any. Yeah, Liverpool, they're a Champions League team, man. The draw is so important in advancing Champions League. The thing to do is finish first in your group, so at least you get someone who finished second in theirs. Yes, and also, not just that, where you draw in terms of your home game and away game is very important as well. Man City got very lucky because against Real Madrid, they played away first and at home second. And you never, ever, ever, the 2 grounds, guys, the 2 grounds you do not want to go to in a second leg of a Champions League is the Bernabeu and Anfield. Avoid those 2 grounds in the second leg of a Champions League because anything can happen there. Anything genuinely. We've seen Liverpool go from 3-0 down to Barcelona to win 4-0 at Anfield. I promise you, if that was flipped, there's no way Liverpool win that. No way. If it was 1-1 at Anfield, they do not progress at all. And equally Bernabeu, man. You don't want to go to the Bernabeu and Anfield in your second leg in the Champions League. Those 2 grounds are scary things. It's never safe. You could win the first leg 4-0 and it still wouldn't be game over. So I think Man City got very lucky they played at home second because that did them a heap of credit. So for Arsenal as well, it's not just who you draw, it's where you draw them. I want to play the second leg at the Emirates, personally. That's what I want. Arsenal won't win anything. Fair. I mean, look, guys, there's no guarantee going to win anything. Arsenal last season was superb. I think we were really good last season, but we came out trophyless. On the flip side, you've got Man United who won the Carabao Cup. Man United arguably had a better season than Arsenal because they won a trophy and they finished top 4. So I agree with you to an extent. I mean, all we can say about last season's bottling. I agree. We did bottle it last season. I can't shy away from that one bit. I said it at the time. But yeah. The possibility, I think, that the players are playing under pressure like the final straight last season because now anything that is not challenging the title is a failure. Yes. And playing under pressure is never easy. Pressure makes diamonds, but it also makes coal. Let's not forget that, guys. And playing under pressure is a different type of mentality to hack. Different type. Because I said this before about Mikel Arteta, right? Mikel Arteta's done a superb job, but I still need to question whether Mikel Arteta is enough to be a winner. Because there's certain managers that are brilliant, but is every manager a winner? Can they take you over the edge to win trophies? That's what I've got to question. And I want to see if Arteta can do that, man, because there's a real question mark over his head still. Can he convert a good season into a great season? Do you get what I mean? The NBA is starting tonight. Who you got? Yes, the NBA is back. I cannot wait. So today is the Lakers versus the Nuggets, I think, and the Suns against the Warriors, something like that. I can't remember. I'm not going to predict the games. Okay, games now, I think the Nuggets will win. I think the Suns will win. But I think who's going to win the NBA championships? Early prediction, I think it's going to be the Bucks. With Damian Lillard and Giannis together, if they avoid injuries, I'm going for the Bucks to win the championship. Come back to this in June when the NBA finals are. June next year when the Bucks win. Bucks win in 6. Yeah. Whereas that wasn't the case previously. Plus the fact that Arteta doesn't have a plan B. Every team figured out how to play against Arsenal. Yes, definitely, man. I think with Kai Havertz now, we've got a plan B. And also a massive point is, I made a video about this actually on my Instagram, is about, to be honest, I made a massive point about this, is who we sign in January. January is so important. January, Liverpool were dwindling a couple seasons back. Then they brought in Luis Diaz, and they went, like, they just shot up. Because your January signing is a catalyst. If you sign the right player in January, the whole squad gets boosted. Now, last January, right, we made good signings. I thought Trossard, good signing. Kivior, good signing. Jorginho, decent signing. But we didn't make a statement signing. And unfortunately, guys, a statement signing is money. You could not make a statement signing with £10 million. It's just not the fact. Like, Trossard's a good signing. Honestly, probably the best signing you can get for £20 million in this day and age. But it's not a statement signing. A statement signing is Mudryk because you would have paid £100 million. Do you get what I mean? This January, we need a statement signing. And for me, I'm looking at one man, Ivan Toney. My ideal January, I don't think it's going to happen, but my ideal January would be Ivan Toney and Pedro Neto. That would be it, man. Ship out Nketiah in January for like £34 million to West Ham or something, or even Brentford. Do a swap deal as well and some cash, and you bring in Ivan Toney and Pedro Neto. Ship out Zinchenko as well because Timber will be back into the team by February anyway. And then I think we're good, man. I think we're cooking. I'd love to see another midfielder come in. I would have loved Mohamed Kudus, man. The whole summer, I was basically twerking for Mohamed Kudus, and it didn't get over the line. But yeah, I think we need another midfielder as well, to be fair. But yeah, this is my Instagram, guys. Check it out if you want to see my football clips. I never called you deluded, fam. You didn't. I appreciate that. But the way you phrased it, that's what I gathered from it. But yeah, I appreciate the fact you didn't call me deluded. But feel free to, man. Everyone's got their own opinion. I said I love deluded Arsenal fans. If you say Arsenal's going to win the Champions League, then you're delusional. They can win the Champions League. I don't think we would win the Champions League, to be honest. I just think we're cursed in Europe, to be honest with that, man. I just think we're a little bit cursed in Europe, which is a bit of a shame, but I want to see us win the Champions League, to be fair. Look, if you ask me this season, would you rather win the Champions League or Premier League? I'd rather win the Champions League personally, but anything can happen, man. Anything can happen. Fair enough. You guys have a good shot. At least Spurs don't win the Prem. Yeah, we got a better chance than Tottenham to win the Premier League, of course, man. Of course. Actually, Dennis, of the studio where you say grounds to avoid, I would add the Allianz Arena to the list. I mean, to be fair, I agree with you to an extent, but Man City went to the Allianz last season in the second leg, and they were nothing special, to be honest, Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, to be fair, they've lost their mojo, like, in terms of me. They've lost their aura, in my opinion. 2-3 seasons back, yeah, Bayern Munich would be the team to avoid. They were the team I'd avoid over Barcelona and Real Madrid. Bayern Munich were dangerous, man. Dangerous football team. Recently, I'll be honest, last 2-3 seasons, Bayern Munich a little bit, like, ever since they won the Champions League in the COVID season to Paris Saint-Germain, 1-0 with a Coman goal, since then, they've been a little bit, like, mid Bayern Munich. They've been good, but they've not been, like, amazing. Even today against Galatasaray, they looked beatable, Bayern Munich. They won the game 3-1, make no mistake about it, but they looked a little bit like they had a soft belly Bayern Munich. Now, obviously, famous last words. I don't want to poke the bear or poke the beast that is Bayern Munich. But do you get what I mean? I feel like Bayern Munich are a little bit got a soft underbelly. I think Real Madrid and Man City are much more dangerous than Bayern Munich. But look, they've still got quality players. They've won the addition of Harry Kane. When Neuer comes back, they'll be even better at goals. So who knows, man? It's still a dangerous team to play against. But we will win the treble again, Man City. Yeah, you probably... no, I don't think you'll win the treble. You'll win at least one trophy this season. Man City, of course. I react to a lot of Man City games. I've reacted to plenty of Man City games in this channel. I think Man City last season, genuinely, I spoke about them so many times. Man City last season, in my opinion, was the best team from March, April, May, ever since the allegations came out. And the game where it all turned for Man City was after you drew to Nottingham Forest 1-1. Chris Wood scored in like the 83rd minute, and they drew 1-1 to Forest in a game that they should never have drawn in. They were miles better than Forest. They just could not put the ball in the back of net. And after that game, they went on a run, Man City, and they never looked back. And I think for Man City, right, that period from March, April, May, where they were wiping teams for fun in the Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, you name it, was genuinely, in my eyes, the best Premier League team I've watched in my life. Like, I thought if they kept that going for 2-3 more seasons, they could rival that Barcelona 08 2012 team. The only thing that Barcelona had over them was longevity. That Man City team was superb. You didn't know how to beat them. I genuinely did not know how to beat that Man City team because they were so good at attacking with Haaland up front, with Kevin De Bruyne. Jack Grealish was on fire, but also defensively they were sound, man. So solid with their 4 centre-backs. And then you think, okay, whenever you see a team that's good going forward, good in possession, you think, okay, how do you beat them? Set piece. But it was the opposite. Man City were more dangerous at set pieces than the opposition. They got so many goals from set pieces because they had Rodri, a unit, Stones, a unit, Ruben Diaz, a unit, Haaland, a unit, Ake, Akanji, you name it. Units in that team, man. So, yeah, I think that Man City team was absolutely superb, man. Superb. I think he's trying to goad you. What's goad? I don't know what that means. But yeah. Mikel, can he take us to the top of the mountain? That's what we got to see, man. That's what we got to see. NBA will start National Basketball Association, basketball. Jeff says, are you doing any reviews tomorrow? I'm hoping Newcastle can beat Dortmund and that PSG Milan draw. That'll put Newcastle in great position in their group. Opposite could happen though. Brothers, sisters, I'm not, man. It's a shame. I really wanted to, but it's for a good cause. It's my grandma's birthday tomorrow. I didn't realize until, I'll be honest, yesterday, because I did say to you guys after the Tottenham game that I will be doing a stream on Tuesday and Wednesday, but it's my grandma's birthday, so I'm going out for a meal with my family, so I won't be streaming after the Newcastle PSG Newcastle game. Sorry, Newcastle Dortmund game, unless I get home in time. But even if I get home in time, I won't be able to watch a lot of the match. And if I do watch it, it'll be on my phone. Do you get what I mean? So it won't be like a proper analysis. But who knows? If I get home in time and I'll catch up the second half, I'll still stream it. But I'll only be able to review the second half because I wouldn't have watched the first half, if you get what I mean. But yeah, we'll see. But right now, probably not. But this is why, as I always say, keep your notifications on. Keep your notifications on, guys, because then you will never miss a stream on this channel. I mean, all the teams fumbled against us in the second leg. City, yes, they did. Man City wiped the floor in the Champions League last season. Wiped the floor. The only game, to be fair, that you really, to be honest, got, I don't want to say lucky because you still did enough to win the game, but you got a little bit out of jail, was the Inter Milan game. I thought Inter Milan was superb in the final. Unbelievable. Like, genuinely, and this is what I spoke about Man City before that game, right? I did a preview for that game I think like the stream before I did, and I said, someone asked me, how do Inter Milan beat Man City? And I said, this is the formula for beating Man City. 1, don't make mistakes, because if you make mistakes, Man City will punish you. 2, you got to perform at least a 9 out of 10, at the very least. You won't even beat Man City performing 8 out of 10. 3, you got to be clinical and take your chances. Now, they didn't take their chances, but they didn't really make mistakes either. Inter Milan performed, in my opinion, an 8 or 9 out of 10 against Man City in the Champions League final. But then here's the 4th thing about playing Man City that is the unfortunate thing about them. You can have all those first 3 things. You can make no mistakes. You can put in an 8 or 9 or 10 out of 10 performance. You can be clinical in front of goal. But if Man City put in at least 8 out of 10, you will still lose that football match. There's no 2 ways about it. So to beat Man City, you have to have a heap of luck as well along the way. You can't just play well. You have to hope and pray that at the same time, Man City don't play well. And I feel like in that game against, Inter Milan, Man City actually didn't even play that well. I thought Man City were far off it. Rodri came up trumps. Now, and look, I've been saying that whole season that Rodri's Man City's most important player. When Rodri got suspended, having choke slammed Morgan Gibbs-White against Forest, I was punching. Yeah, I was delighted. If someone asked me before the Arsenal game, who do you want missing for Man City? I would have said Rodri every day of the week. Don't worry about Haaland. Don't worry about De Bruyne. I don't want Rodri on that football pitch because I know how important Rodri is. And lo and behold, 3 games without Rodri, 3 losses for Man City. He is that glue. And he turned up big time for a goal in the Champions League final. But if Lukaku found out his shooting boots, Inter Milan probably at least take that game to extra time, if not penalties, and if not win it. So, yeah, you got a little bit lucky in that final game, but I think you deserved it because the run you went on, beating Bayern Munich, obviously Leipzig was a walkover, but beating Bayern Munich, beating Real Madrid, I think you deserve to win the Champions League, to be honest. I'm a Lakers fan. We better win. If we don't, I'm going to be fuming. Let's be honest, it's a tough game you're playing, but you should win. I'm going to stay up to watch it. One day I might even launch an NBA channel, man. One day. The problem is I won't be able to stream because the games start too late. So I'll just be waking up my whole family streaming. Which games are you streaming for this weekend? Good question. Let's check out the Premier League schedule for the weekend. So I'll let you guys know what games I'm streaming. So Crystal Palace Tottenham. I'll be streaming on Friday evening for Crystal Palace Tottenham. Tottenham could go 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League table if they win against Palace away. So 8 p.m. Friday 27th of October. I'll start the stream at 10 p.m. as soon as the game's done. Saturday, I'll be streaming for Arsenal, Sheffield United. But in that stream, I'll also talk about Chelsea, Brentford. I won't stream after Chelsea, Brentford, just because the Arsenal game's like 20, 30 minutes afterwards. But I will be talking about the Chelsea game. Then on Sunday, I'll be doing a stream for, beautiful, the Manchester Derby. Stay tuned, guys. Manchester Derby, I'll be streaming for Manchester United versus Man City on this channel. I cannot wait for that game. So yeah, my streams for this weekend will be Crystal Palace, Tottenham, Arsenal, Sheffield United, and Man United, Man City. Subscribe to my notifications and stay tuned for that. Family first, I do appreciate it. I do appreciate that indeed. I got a yap with Arsenal, mate. He's always on about Mikel Arteta's plans. Oh, bro, trust me, man. I go to university, and I've got two friends, right? Two Arsenal friends at university. It'll be funny if they're watching this stream right now. They're probably not, because they haven't left any thoughts in the live chat. But I've got two friends at uni, and these lot are the biggest Arteta supporters I've ever seen in my life, man. These lot treat Arteta's word like gospel. Arteta went to sign Raya, and Havertz, they were like, yeah, I see what he's cooking. Arteta's cooking. Me on the flip side, right? I'm not a sheep. I say it as it is, right? So when we signed Raya, I said it as it is. I'm confused. I don't know why we signed him. I was happy with Ramsdale. When we signed Havertz, I said it as it was. I've got videos on this channel. Why are we signing Havertz? I mean, I don't see what he brings us for £65 million. I remember saying at the time, I'd rather sign James Maddison. I guess I was right with that one, right? But it's neither here nor there. But yeah, so there's Arsenal fan base is genuinely one of the most divided fan bases ever. I think to be fair, me saying that is probably, I probably say that because I've spent a lot of time around Arsenal fans, and a lot of my Twitter is focused on Arsenal. By the way, follow my Twitter if you haven't already. Check out my Twitter and my Instagram. It's down in the description. So you can check out my tweets during football matches. But yeah, Arsenal fans on Twitter are the most divided. You got the most Arteta in, basically just whatever he says is gospel, renew his contract every season. Then you've got the other fans that are like Arteta out everything. You got some fans that are like, oh my God, Havertz is the best signing ever. You got some fans that think Havertz is the worst signing ever. Then you've got others that, like me, who are just in the middle. Like, we'll swing one way or the other depending on like the flow of the ocean. Not in like a zigzag way, but in like just like a, I'll say it as it is. I'll be very realistic with it. Go equals provoke or annoy to prompt a reaction. But there we go. Learn something new every day. That's my word for the dictionary. So Goji, didn't know what that meant. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I don't think he was goading you just being a City fan. Yeah. No, I appreciate everyone's opinion, man. Like, feel free. If you think I'm deluded, that's completely fine, man. Completely fine. I don't mind one bit. I like to think I'm not, but I don't mind, man. In fact, I had some people, telling me I'm a Tottenham fan after yesterday's stream. Was anyone here for yesterday's stream? I was talking so good about Ange Postecoglou and Tottenham. I had some people thinking I was a Tottenham fan. I couldn't believe it, man. No, I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm not a Tottenham fan, but I still think Ange Postecoglou's done a fantastic job at Spurs. But yeah, guys, I'm going to start to round up the stream now just because it is getting quite late and I still need to do a couple of things before I sleep tonight. But I appreciate everyone that's tuned in. Streams will be back on Friday. I'll try tomorrow, but I can't promise. It's probably about a 10% likelihood of happening. 10%. But you never know, man. You never know. Keep your stream notification bell on, so if I do stream, you don't miss it. If I do stream, it will be for the Newcastle Dortmund game. I'm not streaming after the Man City game, but you can let me know about the Man City game in the live chat. But yeah, I'll be streaming after Newcastle Dortmund. That'll be the game. How's university treating you? It's all right. Fourth year and final year is not bad, man, to be honest. It's still got a lot of pressure. I've still got work to do, which is unfortunate because I hate revising, to be honest. I hate revising, but it is what it is, man. University is university. You do what you have to do. At least I've still got time to run my YouTube channel, which is the main thing. But yeah, I appreciate everyone that's tuned in. Streams will be back on Friday for sure. We've got a massive weekend in the Premier League. So yeah, as always, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, drop a like down below so you get more people in the algorithm. I've Michael, I hope to catch you guys all